Alright folks, how are we? I am Shipwreck Sean, and this is episode 3 of my Sail the Seas series. We're here in the Azores. We've got quite the storm. We're getting soaked on land. It looks like, whilst we've been away, a couple more sloops have turned up, both flying the flag of the United Kingdom. So they obviously saw the Scotland flag and thought, nah, he's no getting the discounts before we can. I think I'm just going to be safer to head back on board and get myself out of here. If I remember correctly, I've just anchored off, so we should get away with just kedging ourselves out. So I'm just going to sprint over until I can get to the ladders and head back on board. It's slow swimming in this game. There we go. Right, okay, back on board. So we do, I believe, have the anchor down, so we need to haul that up first. And I should probably make a little game plan before I go, but I would like to get away from port as it's pretty choppy here. So let's just keep kedging ourselves out until we're in a safer position. The wind is quite rough, but at this state we should get away with even a close haul. We just we won't bring down all the sails to stop us from listing, and I think we should be safe enough to come inside, close the doors, and where's the lantern? Get the lantern on. Let's have a look at the map. So we're here in Ponta Delgada, and we have a mission to Charleston, I believe, which would be an exact sail west, but I think what we want to do is actually head south until we can get the trade winds, and then head along to the Caribbean and then up the way that way. So that is what we're going to do. We'll just get ourselves facing as southerly as possible. Let's see if I can remember the compass. There we go, it's a bit dark, but here's south, and if we're pointing south, yeah, we're going to get away with that. So let's get out one of our jibs. I'm just going to turn down my earphones because this storm is loud. Right, jib. Deploy. Far too many sailing games to play now. It's all different controls, but we'll get there. We're definitely going to need to be pumping out our bilge here. Sorry folks if it's a wee bit dark. Actually we can get, there's no candles. I probably should have picked up some candles in port. I'm sure that was one of the reasons of us coming here, but too late now. Let's turn ourselves to port. Hope that we pick up the wind and start turning. Might be a bit difficult now that we're a bit of a close haul. I thought the wind would be strong enough to manage this. So we'll just see if we can cheat ourselves around a little bit. Let that side out a wee bit. Pull that in. There we go, that's a wee bit of turning, but we need to be careful because we don't want to smash into any of the other sloops. I don't fancy a lawsuit. Right, we're now facing south. I can't really see the brass at the top of the helm. Let's just get our main out. Mainsail halyard. Might be a bit risky. Ooh, now we're moving. Right, so probably want to reduce the mainsail just a wee touch. Just until I'm comfortable with how we're moving. And we'll just try and get ourselves balanced and pointing south as much as possible. I believe we've got enough food and water to do us, you know, to the Caribbean and back a few times. How's that looking? It's kind of hard to make anything out in this weather, but that looks alright to me. We're moving at a half decent speed. Yeah, I'll take that. So I've had a couple of recommendations on sort of where to take this. Ed Cox, who comments on my videos a lot. Hello Ed, thank you. Has pointed out I could have some lucrative trade going back and forward from the Caribbean to London, which Ed, I am very tempted to do. Oh, there's a change in wind direction immediately. We're fine. I am very tempted to do, but in terms of keeping the series interesting, I think I'm going to just continue with the sort of circumnavigation. I believe though it's probably going to be better to hit the Caribbean and then go get ourselves down Africa, round Cape Horn and along that way, as opposed to going the more westerly direction, down past, what's the area at the bottom of Argentina and Chile, bottom of South America. It'll come to me. Let's head to the map actually, maybe it'll come to me when I'm looking at the map. I have been told that you want to be closing the doors to not let so much water in. But yeah, this scary cape here. We don't want to go round there because look at the wind. We want to come down here as to where Coupling Rhino tells me the roaring 40s, 50s, 60s, and we can just flee along, or we can navigate ourselves up, maybe play around in India, China, Indonesia, maybe even Japan. The world is our oyster, as I say, but we certainly have to complete our mission first by getting to Charleston, so that's what we're going to do. In this episode, we'll get as close to that as possible, hopefully even right there. So I'm just going to... where's plot? There we go. I'm just going to increase speed a bit, just whilst we get out of port. We are barely moving, so perhaps it's worth turning around just ever so slightly, which is not going to allow us to do it, so let's get that mainsail right out. And is she moving forward? Only one way to find out. So no. No is the answer. So chip log back in. Let's get our sneaky wee trick going again. Might be a bit harder with the mainsail out, but I'm feeling lazy. And let's turn her to port. And keep an eye on this compass. If we can, I can't really see it. Are we turning? Do I need to pull the... Yep, we're turning. Okay, that's fine. Happy. Straighten up that wheel. And I think I'll just accept the list. We can adjust that jib again. And let's just speed ourselves past this island here with our little cheaty times 10. The wind has now changed to behind us. Let's pump the water out. I should turn off that candle inside, but it's so dark that from a YouTube point of view it's probably worth keeping on. I could probably go a bit more to starboard now. And then hopefully balance her off that way. We might even get away with a second jib, but I feel like we're just listing too much for that. So we'll go inside where it's less scary. And are we tired? Oh, we're quite thirsty and hungry. Let's drink a half ration. Let's eat a half ration. And we are slightly tired, so let's just sleep ourselves southward and see where we get. The land disappeared behind us, so we know we're moving forward. So I'm just going to keep going until it gets a wee bit brighter. I'm not... Oh, the wind is actually behind us. It's still going a bit crazy, but I want to do something about that. No candles, right. I kind of suspected that. At least it's brighter out here. Let's get all our bilge water out. Oh, lovely. Got some northern lights again. And with the northern lights, we will be able to see what direction we are heading southwest, which is actually not that bad. And if the wind is still behind us, which it is, we're going to adjust the main sheet. And there we go. That'll get us a bit more speed. We should probably bring out another jib. Let's get the staysail. Bit of a list, but she can manage. Where's the staysail sheet again? Jib sheet, staysail sheet. There we go. Just pop that out a touch. Actually, quite a touch, since we have the wind at about a beam reach now. Maybe slightly, we're slightly ahead of it. But yeah, I'll take that. That's a good old list there. We'll just need to stay on pumping duties. And let's try and get the rest of our micro nap here. Off we trot. Sorry, just chucking my phone away. People are trying to get in contact with me, but no. This is sail the seas time. We have no time for correspondence. We should bring in that mainsail, but my guy needs some sleep. And it looks like it's the morning now. Still strong winds. Think another 5-10 seconds and we will have fully slept. There we go. Not even 5-10 seconds. So before we do anything, let's find out where the hell we are. I'm going to grab... Oh, actually, day 2, was that... Have we just pulled into day 10? Yeah, I think we have. Sorry, day 2. Day 3. Jeezy peeps. Oh, I've just pressed clear all. Alright, folks. It's not off to a good start. But I tell you what, it's off to a better start than what my following seas episode was. What I'll do is I'll refer to previous episodes later on and sort all that. Let's just find out where we are. That's why we opened this. Let's go blue. We are west 33. Really? Okay. We're a lot further than I thought we would be. West 33 and 27, so close to there. And north 32, 57. So like kind of roughly there. So that's not bad actually. We will catch on to the trade winds now. Let's just go for a blue line from our starting point. And there we go. And I'm just going to ignore this clear all for the future. But that gives us a pretty good starting point. I reckon we could just beeline straight to the Caribbean, right? Let's make the sails better though. Well, we're heading north, so we need to do something about that. We want to be heading west, southwest. Let's get her turned round. And then we'll start to get her balanced. Sailing's a lot easier when you can see. Right, can we get away with that? Oh, we absolutely can. The wind is right up our jacksies. Let's get these sails right out. Perhaps I can even wing to wing. I will need to do it from this end. Very nice. Lovely. Can we go for a topsail, wherever that may be? Oh, that's good. And then can we let this main sheet out anymore? Yeah, and what we'll do is, if the main sheet has put us off balance, we can get our outer jib out as well. But I'm actually pretty chuffed with that. Yeah, I'm quite happy. Ed Cox also did let me know that it's going to be worth getting some crew in the future, particularly for bigger boats. He's got me quite keen to play around on the Clipper. So we've definitely got that in our sights. I like the idea of a tall but fast ship. One that we can manoeuvre into tight spaces quite easily. So yeah, I reckon we just let the boat do her thing in this direction for a wee while. And then just see what happens. Right, I've chucked us up to 10 times speed. And let's just see, she is kind of bobbing from port to starboard as the waves go by. I'm alright with that. Wind is still behind us. So even blowing off course slightly to north or south is not going to cause us many issues at all. I'm not entirely sure which port I'd like to go to. I guess just the most convenient one at the time. I'm keeping an eye on that thirst meter up there because that is pretty low. So what we'll do is we'll keep going a wee bit until that thirst meter has decreased a wee touch more. And then we'll go and get a drink. Oh, and we've had a pretty drastic change of wind out of nowhere. We're now at a beam reach. So let's go and get that topsail back down. Like so. Pump out some more water. Then we'll have a drink of water and check where we are. Very nice. Just drank a full ration there. We're living our best lives. Map. West 36. And North 31. So we're roughly about here. We don't need to drop a marker. We're roughly about here, heading in the right direction for the kind of southern Caribbean here. But, you know, we could get to this point and start to turn up. We will just see where we end up. It looks like there's so many ports close by here that we should make some decent money just even doing small missions here and there before we get to Charleston. But as far as I'm aware, actually, we might not have that much space. We've actually got 12 more capacity left, which I don't know how much tonnage that equates to, but that's half decent. I wonder if it's in supplies at all. Quantity, weight. We don't really have a max tonnage, but that's okay. We know we can take a bit more on board. And I'm sure when we're in the sort of mission selection, it's not going to let us take anything that's too heavy anyway. We can pop out our jib to be a bit more like our staysail. And there she's going quite well. I think I'll take a wee daytime nap. I do like the weather in this game. I'd like to see a bit more from the towns, but the ships, the weather, all beautiful. Right, daytime nap. I love one of these in real life, let me tell you. We'll just fill up that tired meter. Looks like it's becoming noon, or at least halfway through the day, on June 9th. By that times 30, we'll get us a half decent amount of distance. We'll have our lunch. Tasty. As you see, we've got plenty. We probably didn't need to take this much actually, which would have made, you know, a bit of commerce a wee bit more manageable when we get to the Caribbean. But that's just a lesson learned. Get back on bilge pump duties. And then fire 10 times. So yeah, I did expect actually to have a few more Sail the Seas videos out by now, but I'm kind of riding the waves, if you can excuse the pun, of the Following Seas release. Let's fix that mainsail actually. The Following Seas release. I feel like it's kind of good YouTube etiquette to have some videos out when a game reaches early access. You know, it's obviously there's going to be lots of people Googling, gets more people on the channel, etc, etc. And I think Sail the Seas and Sailwind, I'm hoping the new Following Seas subscribers pop over here as well for a wee peek, just so they can see what else is on offer from the sailing simulator world, because we are absolutely spoiled now. But I am now experiencing some trouble with Following Seas, so I'm having a wee break from it right now. And I'm sticking to Sail the Seas and Sailwind, at least until the bugs, which I have reported to Discord, get sorted. Or at least responded to see if it's maybe something I've been doing. But anyway, less about that. This is Sail the Seas. We're not playing Sailwind or Following Seas. at this current time. Now, I'm told, I think somebody, probably still Ed, mentioned that the cutter is going to be 20,000 gold. Well, we have 120, so we've got a wee while to go before that happens. But looking at some of the rewards you get, I think it's not going to take us too long to get up to that point. And then hopefully we'll be, we'll save up more than enough money so that we can buy the ship and then get some good cargo on board and then start really raking it in. I'm not sure if the game has much of a sort of massive end game. So we'll just really see where it takes us. The target and mission for now is just circumnavigate. I want to explore the whole world. And we might not see, obviously, we're certainly not going to see every port in our first circumnavigation, but we'll get a good lot crossed off. Let's see, West 44. Right, now we're getting to the point, and North 30. Now we're getting to the point where I'd like to drop a marker. Right, so West 44-0 and 30-41. Again, I'm not going to be hyper accurate here. We're about there. Zoom out. And let's draw a wee blue line. And let's start to decide where we want to end up. Do I need to drag it? Yes. There we go. So we're actually kind of going straight to Charleston, which might not be a bad idea, but it looks like we might hit some winds coming in towards us, which it feels like that's kind of happening. So we're actually going to turn, and I'm thinking maybe west-southwest for a bit, maybe even southwest, because we'll get better winds and better trade. Where's the brass top? There we go. I need to get used to the the controls again. As I say, in following seas, you seem to be able to turn the boat without any wind. And then sail wind is a little bit more forgiving than sail the seas, but more realistic in that regard. But obviously when I can't see where the top of the helm is, that's where the problem is arising. We've now turned back to west, so micro adjust ourselves back down. What I should probably do is pick a day and just record a whole bunch of Sail the Seas videos in a oneer. And then that way I get used to the controls. However, I quite like to have, I quite like to read the comments in between episodes, particularly if there's advice. That way I can give the advice givers a bit of a shout out and a thanks. So, by the end of this episode, I'll be an expert again. We've got the general logic to sailing in my brain, so it's just a controls thing. I'm actually hoping to completely tire myself out, so we sleep right through the night. And of course, we'll only really wake up. We'll only wake up if there's a drastic change of wind. There we go, get up to 10. And here we go, a drastic change of wind. Moving to beam reach on the opposite side. We are back heading west. So we'll fix that and adjust the sails. And it looks like there's a storm coming. So we're going to be hitting some good speeds. Right, southwest, we have need of bringing in the main sheet, like so, and our jibs can come in. I think I might take the staysail in and then just work with our jib here. Let's pull that in so it's a bit tighter, because we are a bit closer to a close haul now in the direction we're going, which is southwest. So let's just see if she's happy to keep going at that rate. Might be a bit tight, might be worth getting the chip log out. We are still moving forward, not at a massively quick rate, but forward enough. Actually 6 knots, not bad. Okay, I'll take that. Let's turn up the speeds, wait for night time, have a wee drink of water, and then head to sleep. Trundling through, just making sure that wind doesn't clip and change us into sailing in irons, because it does seem to change drastically. I don't know if it kind of works like as you cross latitude and longitude. I am worried that we're not moving forward. Hopefully that little wave's just giving us a wee bit of assistance there. Okay, actually, it's because I'm turning the wrong way. We do need to head more westward now with the direction of the wind. Good thing there's a bit of a storm, so we can get away with a turn, I think. I really should have picked up candles. Sorry, folks. Yeah, that's looking okay. Maybe a bit tight. I think I'm spoiled on sail wind with the sandbuck. Pretty much just sail like 20 degrees and into a close haul and get away with it. I'm more interested in just going forward right now. Let's head in and get a drink of water. I'm actually going to check the map, because perhaps just direct south is going to be best. We're at 45, 29. Yeah, we've not really gone anywhere, so we are going to just get this gal turning south. And I'm hoping with the sea state and wind state, yeah, that was a good old turn. We're about to lose the moonlight, so we're not dancing in it anymore. I cannot see the compass at all. So yeah, can I jump up here and get the moonlight? Right, it looks like we're heading... Oh no, I genuinely can't see it at all, so now we're just guess sailing. Hopefully not north. I'm not really much of a celestial navigation guy. We're certainly moving forward. Let's get that jib in. But I'm at a wee bit of a loss as to forward in which direction. Just need that moon to come up, and then it will hopefully light up on our compass. Maybe, could I turn the gamma up? Oh no, that would be cheating, right? Let's have a look. Gamma we can. Right, we're going to cheat for a second. Right, we're heading kind of south. We are heading back east in a slight direction. But actually turning to starboard is going to present us problems. So south-southeast it's going to have to be. Even southeast I will settle with. But I think I'll just have to keep the gamma up. My excuse is going to be so that it's YouTube friendly, and that way I don't sound like a big dirty smelly cheat. But there we go. I mean, the YouTube friendly thing does track, it does help. But let's just go to sleep, get ourselves heading southerly in any sort of direction, and we'll wait for most of the night to go away. And actually I think the gamma's a bit too much there. Let's tone it down a notch. And let's get to sleeping. And there has been a change of sea state, and now we are completely sailing into the wind. Sailing games are wanting to make things pretty difficult for me today. I've made many attempts to get following seas working today, to no avail. Experiencing a few bugs in Sailwind, which I believe is partly due to the excessive mods I've chucked on, and also perhaps the recent update. Sail the seas, well, we know the wind changes like that pretty abruptly at times. Come on, please catch. We're just being patient. There we go, just waiting for the wind to catch without reversing us. Or sorry, rather, without forcing us to go astern. I think that might be okay. Let's pop you out. Let's get this mainsail deployed and see if we've got a bit of go forward now. We'll get that sheet pulled right in and then turn to starboard. Ooh, okay. I don't think we are moving, are we? Let's get that jet log out. Now we're bouncing back and forward. So, right, how do I want to do this? Can we try with the... Let's stow all sails. This is the test. You're not a true sailor unless you can get out of irons. Right, halyard over here. Let's stow the main. We want to straighten up the rudder. Like so. And I'm going to use the outer jib to try and turn us. And we're going to haul in on this side. We actually need to release on the opposite side first. Create a bit of slack. And now we can haul in and hope that the wind picks up there and turns us round. I'm just keeping the cursor pointing forward. At this rate, I don't know if we're turning round or if it's if it's the sky. Where's our compass? Does that look like it's moving to you folks? Oh, I think it is. I think we might have got the wind. Yeah, that looks good enough to me. Attempt 2. Let's stow. That's how confident we are. We're just going to weak down the mainsail. I know it's bad practice, but we're just going to weak that down. Because I would like to be moving forward now. I keep forgetting that you can see the character just above the cursor, just at the cursor there. The cursor is my head. And let's get the jib back out. And we can certainly ease that jib out a wee touch. Like so. And now, a turn to starboard. Ooh, there we go, folks. You're witnessing expert sailing here. Take notes. Obviously, that's sarcasm. Let's pump the water out. Have a wee midnight snack and drink. And continue with our lovely sleep. Good night. We're actually at a beam reach. But my guy's shattered. Just going to sleep a wee bit more. Get a bit of distance. Looks like the sun is coming up. And the wind is now behind us. It kind of fluttering between behind us and being a beam reach. So at any rate, we can let out the main a wee touch. And finish off our napping. And then it's time to work out where we are. So that's it. This game kind of tests you by the wind will kind of change abruptly. That's the impression I'm getting. Oh, lovely green seas. Beautiful. Just let you appreciate this a wee second. Not full sails. I usually like to appreciate full sails, but, you know, sometimes a little bit of delicacy can be nice. I don't know how to get the UI back on. Nope, I've lost the UI. There we go. We just had to fiddle with something else. Right, let's do some plotting. West 44 still, so we haven't actually gone, I don't think we've gone anywhere in that sleep. West 44, 47. Oh no, we were heading south, weren't we? Yeah, so West 44, 47. So that's roughly about here. And then North 24, 9. So that's going to be down about here. So 44, 47. Roughly there. Actually, I should have made that red, since we have moved on to a different day. But I'll be fixing this map off camera, folks, because I really want to get our first section back so that we can look back at the end of the circumnavigation. And, you know, it'd be good for memory's sake to look over. Having a bit of trouble here. Let's just call it there, right? And get the hell out of this view. Red line. Off we trot. In fact, now we can go, I don't want to go west. We can pretty much go any direction south of west. Between south of west and I would say 210 degrees. Between west and southwest, I think. As long as we're within that ballpark, we're good. Which means we are going to turn around and then alter the sails for that. And I'm going to try and get full sails. Right, somewhere in this direction I'm happy with. Like so. Let's have a look. Wind behind us, so let's get you right out. Which will probably want to turn us to port. So we also want to play around with the jibs to let them bulge nicely. Let's go for the staysail again. Just like that, and do the same with the staysail as we have done. Why is that? Because do we need to ease off on the opposite side now? That was weird. It's like I couldn't. I mean, I know this isn't the right way of doing it, but it's the only control I seem to have. Right, let's go and see if I can. Yes, there we go. With a little interlude there, we now have our staysail filling. Then we'll go topsail, and then we'll go outer jib. I think I might just completely... Oh yeah, I forget, you can't really sort of brace... You can't completely ease out on the cleats in this game. A couple of bilge pumps. Check our direction before doing the outer jib, which was a wise move. So as I suspected, we did turn to port as a result of the mainsail. But that's okay. We just need to get lucky once. Outer jib, where are you? And let's get this baby full sail sailing. Easing her out, and that should balance our forward end. Going southwest, so we'll turn to starboard a wee bit. Like that. And let's see. Nice, the UI is back in this view, which I'm rather happy with. So we're getting some nice, lovely views of our full sails. There we go. Sneaky wee YouTube thumbnail moment, potentially. Let's zoom right out. I usually like to have some space for a thumbnail. And without further ado, let's get these doors shut. And let's do some speeding. And let's just let her trundle along a wee bit throughout the day until at least we either get a change of wind direction, because it would likely get to a point where that topsail might hinder us more than help. It's getting close to that point. It might be worth going and turning her around just a wee touch, but I'm okay right now. We'll just let her do her thing. No updates in this game of late, so nothing like that to go over. Kind of went over that in the last episode. And I think actually we're getting close to our noontime nap. I'm going to just pull that square in. I think that's about as much as we can get out of the square. And we're going to have a wee drink. And we're going to sleep off noon. That seems to be a good system. Sleep through the night and then sleep off. Nice wee lunchtime nap time. And it gets us moving a bit as well. Because I want to start seeing land soon. Hopefully we've not blown off course. And I suppose now that we've fully slept, it's worth checking. Turned a bit more to southwest, but that's okay. Let's micro adjust for that. Maybe oversteer to west just a wee touch. Just to correct. I can spoil myself with food and water now. And then let's get back to this doohickey. West 50. Okay, right, that's some good distance. And 1750. West 50-20. So roughly here. That's good. We're going to be at the Caribbean in no time. What have we done? Very nice. Just 2 days. Well, that was a evening. And then this is today. Currently it is noon. So yep, we're definitely hitting the Caribbean. And that'll be before the end of the day. Let's turn the speed up and let that happen. I have turned to face a bit more closely to west, but I think she has a slight turn to port on her at the moment. But that's okay. I don't mind hitting the top of South America and then exploring all the Caribbean islands on the way up. This will be the last bit of open ocean we'll see for a wee while, so enjoy it whilst it's there. There you go, enjoy it whilst it's there. Without the UI. Complete plain sailing weather, nothing crazy at the moment. Ever so slight wake at the back, so I presume we're not flying. Let's go and have a wee peek. Surely more than the 6 knots we were getting earlier, although that was in a storm. Whoa, what do we think, folks? Yeah, okay, that's good. Up to 7. You can't whinge at that. We will be playing around with this in the future. For if I get myself into another awkward situation. Oh. Get ourselves in another awkward situation, then I have this. And obviously can play around with the compass. Double check our speed. Direction rather, that's still very good to me. It's maybe getting a bit too late in the day to have a nap, right? No, you know what? I like to treat my guy. Let's nap. And I'm hoping that at the end of this nap, I mean, I can't remember how close we need to be to land to see it, but we must be getting relatively close. Surely. Right, it is getting pretty dark, which might mean I might not be able to sleep through the whole night. Still going in the right direction. West 55. Oh, nice. West 55, 14. So we're down here roughly. So we can actually just... Yeah, we can actually just turn her completely west now. Make the most of a bit of speed increase. And it looks like there's a storm coming. So yeah, we're going to be at land in no time. We'll just go to the first town that we see. Really, as I say, the most convenient one. And we'll just take it from there. Let's speed up. It is getting stormy, but there is no change of wind direction. So we'll just take advantage of that and keep flying westward. The storm is taking a wee while to increase, so perhaps it's not a storm, perhaps it's just rainy weather. Or perhaps we're sailing closer to the storm. Right, she is completely turning to port now. Let's deal with that. It might be the kind of weather that I do need to just hold the rudder ever so slightly to starboard. We have turned ever so slightly north of west. So we'll sort that. And something like this. If I'm holding the rudder... Oh no, I don't think you can hold the rudder and... So I'm holding the helm with speed on. I don't really want to wait, let's just do it. Yep, okay, whoa! Okay. So you can actually turn when you're quick travelling. So we won't do that again. That's it, folks. I try these things so you don't have to. Back facing west-ish. We'll pump it since it is now raining. We're going to head inside, get cozy, and come on. I'm sat here with my fingers and toes. Oh! We got land. Right, so that's where we're going. We're going to turn and face towards that land, which is going to be a beam reach. So we'll pump out and we'll get that top mast in. Nothing to pump. Top sail, rather. And will she... I feel like I should bring in the outer jib, but let's just see how she gets on without me doing that. I don't even know where we're going, folks. I'm just seeing land. I'm not seeing much on the boat. In fact, let's get the gamma up. This time it's not cheating because I'm doing it for you folks. It's my excuse anyway. But it just helps to see. Right, so let's go and plot where we are and work out what that means for us. We could be at Barbados, we could be at Martinique, we could be at Guadeloupe. I don't imagine we're anywhere else than any of those three options. Let's have a wee peek. I think, yep, we've still got just a smidgen left of this day, so still we'll use red. 58 and 47. So roughly about here. And we're 14.7. So we're going to Martinique, it would appear. Or maybe Barbados. What direction are we sailing in? Southwest. So I think we're going to Barbados. Nice. I'd like to go there in real life. Never been. Let's just finish off our charting with a nice big old line. And we can zoom in a bit closer. This is signifying that the port is on the south side, if that is to be believed. So I think we're heading in the right direction for that. Yes, we are indeed. We're not really thirsty or hungry, so let's just increase the speed. Look at that. We are sailors. So I want to head to our outer jib, because we're going to be bringing in the sails anyway. So we'll just get this guy in. Like such. It is raining, as well as my aggressive sailing. So I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of pumping to do. 3's okay. Ooh. I just keep taking the opportunity to just enjoy how this game looks. You know, it's not groundbreaking graphics, but it treats you. Right, which button was the spyglass? There we go. Are we seeing any ports, folks? Nope, I'm certainly not seeing anything. So yeah, I believe we were correct to sail to the south side of the the island. Why am I stuck? There we go. Character got a wee bit stuck there. We have had a slight change of wind direction, but it's actually going to work out pretty well for the direction we are turning into. I would like to do, so this is actually an idea I wanted to flirt out to you guys. I really want to try streaming one day. Excuse that voice crack. Not a good one for streaming there. I'm not even going to edit that out, right? You're getting the reality. I'd like to sample streaming, and I think what would be fun is to prepare a bunch of anecdotes and do a sale without any sort of time warping. It's fine when I'm uploading episodes because I want each episode to have a sort of start and finish on land. But I would quite like to do that, and now that we're in the Caribbean, it could be a good excuse to do something like that, and then I can just kind of edit it into a YouTube video. But please let me know if that's the kind of thing you'd be interested in. There's Twitch, there's also YouTube. Like, I've been accepted as like a YouTube partner, which I think opens up streaming possibilities and things like that. So yeah, it's an idea I'm playing around with. And then you can watch me in real time. I'm pretty good at minding my language on this game because I don't really do any edits like I do on Sailwind, for example, but I'm sure there might be some F's and Jeffs, some sailor language. So point is, please do let me know if that's the kind of thing that you'd be interested in. And if not, well, fine, I'll take the hint. Right, let's get that sheet in a wee touch. Ooh, lovely. Mainsail sheet. And if you cometh. I don't actually think we needed to do that, but we've done it now. Oh, and I can see a vessel. Is that a vessel? Oh, we're not going to see much from up here. And then if I stand up here, my view is obstructed by this huge bit of canvas. I'm going to crouch and see. Yeah, I think we can spot it now. Oh. 3 masts. Main mast is taller than the forward mizzen, so would that be a bark? I think that's a bark. Who knows? I think that's a bark. I'm going to confidently say bark, and then I'm sure people will correct me. Let's get turning. And we'll just aim for the big old boat. There we go. Nice wee turn like that. Wind utterly behind us now. I am stuck. There we go. So we can let out our stays, our jibs rather. To let them bellow a bit more. But we're so close to land, completely increasing our speed doesn't matter. And in actual fact, I can definitely take in the staysail now. And think about reefing the main. Yeah, I think that'll do it. And let's try and get to port. Now, it might be an anchor off and swim in job today. Because, oh, I forgot, I'm really sorry. I forgot who mentioned it. It might have been Kidge. Kidge, if it wasn't you, sorry. And to whoever it was, I'm sorry if I'm just giving the wrong person a shout out here. But someone pointed out that when you're coming into port and the weather is stormy, you really don't want to be trying to berth. Which, you know, in real life, of course. I'm not sure if there's damage in this game, but let's not find out, will we, folks? I'm actually going to make a quick edit. I want to find out who deserves that shout out. Alright folks, so it was actually Ed again, so thank you Ed. let me know that it's probably a bad idea. I've also noticed that Ed actually mentioned sailing to Barbados is going to be good for picking up tobacco. So Ed, this is a question for you if you are indeed watching. Is there somewhere I can sell the tobacco to still get a decent profit that doesn't involve sailing all the way back to London? Please do let me know. And I think there was another shout out I was going to read out. Also Ed, actually, it's 24,000 for the Clipper. And I think that was all I wanted to cover there. So we'll just ease ourselves nice and closely to port. And I'm happy to swim in. It's slow swimming in this game, but I don't really mind. I'm hoping that even with the boat slightly further away, I can still purchase some candles. Maybe I could even sell off some food and water as well. So you guys can join me for that. I will not be doing that off camera. Another... Are all the flags Union Jacks? By default. I'm sure I've seen a Spanish flag in this game, actually. I might be making that up completely. Right, let's get rid of our mainsail. Stow that away. And we'll just treacle forward. And then anchor off. And in fact, I think I'm quite happy to anchor off here. Did I just let out a bit of main? Yes, I did. So let's haul in the jib. Or stow, rather. And we want to drop anchor, which I don't think we need to winch now. I think it just drops. Unlike a couple of other sailing games. Getting rid of the water, I think, is a good shout. Also, I believe there's bars, like taverns, on shore as well, that we can choose to spend the night in, if we so want to. But let's go for a wee swim. And let's go and see if we can get some candles and sell off some food and water. Right, you can't hold shift and stay above the water. Oh, I don't think it was anything to do with shift. I really hope there's a ladder here. There is a shipyard, which could be fun. Yeah, I think we're going to change some colours today. Right, I can see ladders. Hopefully these ones you can interact with. Oh, there's some ladders closer to me. If there's a quicker way to swim in this game, please let me know. Well, I thought the water was going to push me up there. Come on. Just waiting on the swell. Oh! That was a bit scary. Right, shipyard. Here's Bonnie. I can do basic repairs, which we don't need. Only clean hull from barnacles, but that's going to cost all the money we've got left. Customization. Can I paint for free? No, I can't paint for free. So that is something we will have to do later on. But what else have we got? Is this the trader? Where's my lantern? As I say, it's a different button in every game. There we go. 6 in this game. Can we sell off some water? Be supplies, right? So water. We have 7.35 water. So let's sell 4 of that, because I don't think we're making much profit. Food, we've got 5.6. And we go through water quickly. So let's sell off 3 lots of food. And then let's take a crate of candles. Is that just one candle, or is it like one bunch of candles? Let's take one and see what happens. And that leaves us with quite a decent bit of cargo space. So we should be able to play around now, actually. Quite happy with that. Our funds are now up to 357. I might... Yeah, let's just get an extra candle. Just for the hell of it. And let's see, trading. So tobacco. Now, I've asked the question out loud to Ed. So I think I'll wait before the start. I'll wait and read comments before I purchase some. And because I'm doing that, I'll wait and see if it's going to be profitable here or if it's better to go to Charleston, do our missions and then come back to Barbados. And then we'll have a look at any contracts that are going to be helpful for us. There's a wee contract. We could skip over to Panama. Oh, it's quite heavy though. I think the only one we can take is Goa, which is India, which is not going to be helpful. San Juan, that's going to be worth it actually. That's 15. We've got enough cargo space for that. I think we just do that. Because, yeah, we do that. And then we'll wait for Ed to get back to us on the whole tobacco situation. So let's just accept it. Let's just commit to that. And that would leave us, we've got 37, so we would only be able to take one lot of tobacco anyway. But just go ahead and take it. We're going to be pretty, yeah, okay, we're committing, we're taking it. That might be a mistake, but I'm here to have fun. Okay, so we've picked up some tobacco. We have a contract to San Juan, which is on the way to Charleston. So that'll be pretty good. That means we're now making money as we go. We're down to negative 21 funds, but that's okay because we've got enough food and water to do us. We'll make money at San Juan. We're a wee bit tired, but I'll get myself back on board in the next episode and deal with it from that point on. So thank you very kindly for joining me, folks. I have been Shipwreck Sean, and I'll see you soon. Cheerio.